Recording in progress. Great. All right. So, yeah, my name is Ed Bogue, KJ7DHY. I want to thank Barry for letting me or inviting me to do this presentation. I am a member of SNARS, and I gave the website link there. I am a member of Aries also, and you should be able to see the link there to Aries. I do the WinLink. I am actually the manager for WinLink for Washoe County Aries. So every week I send out email for check-ins. So I usually get 10, 15 check-ins a week. Um, yeah, even if you're not part of Aries, go ahead and send me an email. Get you checked in at least. So, what is WinLink? WinLink is a worldwide system for sending, receiving emails and messages via the radio. WinLink is used in just general communications, maritime use, and emergency communications. If you don't have WinLink installed yet, this guy right here on YouTube, if you just do a search on install WinLink, you'll see this guy. It's about a 5-minute video on how to install and set up your WinLink. It's a little time consuming, so I won't go through that right now. And Barry, you'll have to let me know or Doug, if somebody has questions, because I can't hear the audience. Okay.
Yeah, no problem there. And everything's looking good here, so please continue.
Okay. So this is my FM setup. So I have my handy talkie here. It connects in with a programming cord, and it goes to the back side of my single link. And the single link is basically a sound card. It converts the radio waves to digital for your computer to hear and read and see. There is another plug from the so it goes from the radio, and then it goes to the computer with the USB plug. It's pretty easy setup. I would recommend the settings to be like at noontime or 12 o'clock position for the transmit and receive, and then for a delay, set that all the way to the left or 0. Here's a little picture of the 7100. I just want to make sure if you use WinLink, use the USB setting. And if you have all the baud rates set for the radio and your computer and the driver, it will talk and will change the station for you. To download the modem part of the WinLink, go to this Echo Alpha 5 Hotel Victor Kilo. And I gave the link right there also. But you want to download the latest and greatest Vera FA or HF and the Vera FM. The other ones, if you're interested, you do those too if you want. And then just go ahead and install those. This is kind of a picture of what WinLink looks like. So when you first install it, it's going to open up your settings and it's going to have you put in your login information, a backup email, and your basic location. The messaging, this is where you would go to start a new message, add forms in. So this is just a picture, so I can't click on it, but I will show you here shortly. You have your standard folders here. You have some personal folders. You have contacts. It's basically just like a regular email program you would use at home. You can move, so you highlight an email or message, and you can move it to the different folders here. or you can delete. Here's where you select your session. So you can do a telnet, Vera, packet, and I'll show you some of that here shortly. So you select it there and click open session, and it'll start a session. So with WinLink, you can open up forms. And with forms, so all the forms are located on your computer. When you fill out a form, and you submit it, it just takes the data from that form and sends that over the radio. Now on the other side, when they get it, they are they have the forms on their side. So what it does is it just fills in that form on their side so they can read it nice and neatly. I'll show you a telnet session. I did try an FM session this morning and it did not connect. There's probably too many radio waves flying around the earth today. I did try an HF session and that worked. Vera FM. Yeah, it's very similar to the FM. So with that said, let me go ahead. The next slide, I believe it will show you, and this was just in case it didn't work on my side. So let me just show you this 10 or 15 second, 20 second on how to do a telnet session. So here you're selecting the session, you open the session, and you click start. With Telnet, you can set it up to automatically check for emails every, whatever, 15, 30 minutes, hour. If you're actually doing over the radio waves, I would not recommend automatic sessions. So with an FM session, again, I was not able to get it to work here, but so let me go ahead and show you this. And you may or may not be able to hear the radio talking in the background. Still loading. There it goes. So here I'm creating a message. So you just, if you send it to a test, it will send it right back to you. It'll go out to the RMS, the server out in the Etherland, and it will send it right back to you. So here you post it to your outbox. Then you select your session you want to use. In this particular case, it's Vera FM. And you open it up and it will open up your modem also. You want to just double check you're sending it to a local station, you know, maybe within 10 miles with FM. And again, I can hear it on my side, but I don't know if it's coming over your side, the radio talking. Yeah, so with the
Hey, Ed, no, it doesn't come across. It could be that Zoom is blocking it.
yeah.
And I know that, just so everybody knows, it might be a little hard to see in the back, but we're also going to do a live session here in a little bit, and it should be a little bit bigger on the screen. Back to you, Ed.
Okay. Yeah, you can see the green line going across. That's sending a message. When you do see a message, it's going to ask you if you want to actually download it. Over HF, it's a little bit slower, but FM, it's pretty quick. So this is okay. So now it's complete now, and then you can open up your messages here at the WinLink. So before I go on here with the different nets, let me go ahead and stop this for a second here. And let me go to a live session on WinLink. So now this is a live session. And so this is how you would when you first log in, let me go to the start here. It'll open up your settings, and then you want to put in your. I do have a registration key, so I'm not going to open up my settings. To open up messages, again, it's new message, and then you put into who you want to send it to, maybe a subject. If you're attaching something under 25K file, here you can select forms, go to standard forms, and there's plenty of forms to pick from. If you do like a general message, it will open up a web browser with the form in it, and then you can just fill in the information and go on from there. Let's see here. Okay, so there's how you do that message, and then if you here you pick the session you want to do. I'm just going to do a telnet session, and then I'll open it up and start, and it will go out and check. This goes out to the internet whenever you do a telnet session, and it checks an RMS, maybe a central location for the RMS, and it will download any messages that are out there. If you want to do Vera FM, so you open that session up, and here again it's going to check to make sure it's loading all the modem stuff and everything. I do have a registered version. Over on the left here, it will show you the modem. You can check a couple settings. The Vera. You would put in your registration key there if you had one. The sound card. You want to make sure that it selects the audio codec. You may have to install drivers the first time you do this, but it will remember it every time after that. With the FM, I just do the Vox, and it goes through this sound or single link. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get a hold of John at his location. He's South Reno. I am in Sun Valley, so we'll see if there's enough dirt or airwaves to get through. So let's go ahead and try that.
Can you send it to W7DBE, and then once it goes, we'll get on Telnet, bring it up on our end, and show it, and send something back to you via that. Okay.
So actually send a message to Doug, or does Doug have
W7DBE, Whiskey 7 Delta Bravo Echo, which is Doug sitting here, and you're going through RF, and then once you get done and it goes, we'll get on Telnet and we'll bring it up on the screen here, and we'll grab it. Sound good?
So does Doug have an RMS, or
we're doing Telnet on our end?
Okay, so you want me to do Telnet on my end too?
No, you do RF to the system. We'll do Telnet and show how it can cross bridge. How's that?
Okay, yeah, so it's going to ask me to pick a station to connect to. Let me go ahead and do a packet session. I'm pretty sure I can hit St. Mary's from here. I'm just changing my radio here. Okay. All right, packet open session. Well, actually, I didn't get an email message. Hold on, let me just go back here. New message. And it was W7
DBE, Whiskey 7 Delta Bravo Echo.
Okay, so I'll post that to the outbox, and then I will open up the session, show you the modem, and hit start. So what it's doing now, it's keying up to my handy talkie, and you can see the status messages coming over on the left side and the waterfall down the bottom. You do want to have some of that red and yellow in your if you're not seeing that, you'll have to adjust the modem a little bit, or the sound card. So over on the right hand side, you can see that it is sending a message. And the green line is going across here. That tells you how far the process is going, and it looks like it sent one message. So now, if Barry, you want to reply back, or Doug, you want to reply back.
Okay, we're on push to talk here. So Doug is bring up the screen share, Doug. Also, Doug is he's going to bring up WinLink on his computer. And he's going to bring up the telnet version, which is meaning go through the internet. And since Ed sent the message to W7DBE, and it went out through FM, through packet, got to the server. Now, once we have it up, then we'll pull it down.
Yeah.
And then you can see it.
Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Okay, hold on. We're just going to bring up the screen share, Ed.
Okay, you want me to stop mine?
And okay, hopefully, okay, you'll be able to see it now. Yeah, there you go. So now this is on Doug's PC.
Yep. So you'll want to switch that to telnet. Yep.
Have you already pulled it? No, you're going to do a telnet session. Going to open the session. He's going to connect to it. So this is the equivalent. This is the equivalent on your computer of saying send, receive. Some of the software on emails do it automatically. Same concept. Okay, so now he's going to check the messages, and he should have had a message received. Actually, had 4 of them. Let's see. And he's going to go to his inbox, if you will. And here's the message from Ed. So Ed sent it via RF. He happened to use the packet protocol, and he sent it from his place up in Sun Valley through RF out to KL7RI's server or gateway.
It's actually St. Mary's
Valley, and then it went in, and then we pulled it back. So if I'm correct, Ed, he's replying. If I'm correct, and you can tell us in a second, that everything is all glued together, whether you come in through HF, you're coming through VHF, whether you're doing packet, VARA, whether you're doing telnet. So I'm going to ask you to reply to that.
Doug, did you already send that?
Yeah, you should have it now. We just sent it.
Okay, I'll share my screen then. Okay, so I got my screen back up again, and I'm going to go and Barry. It was actually through St. Mary's Hospital. They have a server on the top of St. Mary's for packet.
Thanks. It was St. Mary's, not KL7RI. Thanks.
Yeah. So let's see. I'll start my session again, and it will do the connecting handshake. Getting connected to that server on St. Mary's. Here it's showing that it connected to it. And this, you can get this when you do HF. It's out there already. And here's the message from Doug. So I'll go ahead and download that one. And you'll see the message coming from the right, going to the left, showing that it was downloaded. And packet is 100% accurate. So if it doesn't get what it gets, it will resend. So again, there's the message from Doug. And if I open that up, message received from Doug. And it even shows his IP address, or I'm sorry, his location. So any other questions on that one? All right, so if I try an HF session, oh, I gotta take care of the, so it will only let you
this
do
if you
one
can,
session at a
because I know
time.
it yesterday it took a while, but bring up the list like you
Yep.
did, like you're gonna send it, and show them what it looks like if you could.
Okay, so if you wanted to do a Vera HF session, so you would open up the session, and if it doesn't ask for it right away, you will have to let me plug in my, it's looking for my radio. Okay, so if it does right away, you should come in here and update this via the internet. If you're going to go out of in the out country, I would do this update before you go. It takes a little bit of time if you do it by the radio. But here are the stations and the frequencies that you want to connect to. And over on the right-hand side, there is the path probability estimate. So if you're green and it's like 99%, you're pretty much guaranteed to connect to that as you're going farther and farther away, or maybe through mountains or whatever, or it gets worse and worse and worse for a connection. So you find whatever band you're on, and you just double click it, and that opens up, and that changes the frequency on your radio to the dial frequency here. So if it doesn't do that, then you either have a baud rate mismatch. But yeah, if you just hit the excuse me, if you hit the start button, it will start sending. Let's see if there's anything over here to sound card. Yeah, so there's no difference from the Vera HF and RF. I'm sorry, HF and FM.
Okay, I just want to make a comment. So yesterday, day before yesterday.
Yeah, just real quick, the baud rate initially on the default is like 9600, and it won't transmit to the radio, the audio, or work the PTT. So I changed it to 38400, or Eric did, and it worked fine. So you got to check that baud rate on the default setting for the transmitter, because 9600 wasn't good enough for my Yace, so it had to be up higher.
And then just to be clear, Bill, that's the baud rate between your computer and your transmitter. We're not talking about going out on the air. We're talking about the handshaking.
Right, the handshaking to the push to talk.
Yeah. Any questions on that before I ask the other question, Ed?
Yeah, just as long as it's all the same. Your laptop, you want to have that baud rate. Your radio, you want to have that same baud rate. And then there's drivers that you want to have that same baud rate set in also, and it will start talking.
Okay, good. I just want to make a comment. We'll do a few more slides and then we'll wrap this up shortly to do the 50-50 here. Yesterday, day before yesterday, when Ed and I were testing, he went on to an HF route. It was about 500 miles, give or take 500 miles away, 4, 5, 6. It took about 12 minutes. It doesn't always take that. It just wasn't a great path. So we decided not to do it today just so we didn't take the time. But then I know other people, like I have a friend that does it, and it can fly in 20 seconds. So it just varies what the path is. I'm going to send it back to you, and then maybe we can you can talk about the WinLink nets and maybe a couple of applications, Ed. Go ahead.
Okay, so there are several nets during the week that I check into also. And you can do these all on one day or have something to do during the whole week. Mondays, there's a Clark County Aries check-in. That's their call sign CC NV Aries. Tuesday, there's a ERC WinLink. Go to KC7ZJN. Wednesday is the Nevada Department of Emergency Management. You can check in there with W7DEM. Thursday is the Aries. Send your message to me. Sometimes I will use the ecom training for my check-in that week if there's a new training session there. Fridays is the hospital WinLink check-in. So there's two places to send your messages there, KR7 EOC and W7 SMY. Saturday, there's an Oregon Aries check-in, and that's at YC Aries dash NCS. And then again, once a month, due on Thursdays, is the ecom training. So yeah, have fun with that. Yeah, at least send me check-ins at least. Again, here's some SNARS SARS link, Washoe County's Aries link, how to set up and install the WinLink for the modems. Here's your link for that. If you want to send me an email or something, there's my email, breeze5500@gmail.com. Or if you're trying WinLink, or you can do them both, KJ7DHY and breeze5500. Just separate it with a semicolon. I did look up the WinLink license is $25 what I found. There's you don't have to buy the license for WinLink. It just reminds you every time you want to transmit out. Hey, or do you still want to evaluate or whatever? But the Vera license is a little bit more expensive. It's almost $70. So
I have a question about the Vera license.
Yep.
Okay, I have to push a talk in between hearing you. I understand, help us with this, that there is a free Vera that is fast-ish, and there is the paid Vera that is super fast, almost as fast as some of the I don't know, packed or full modems that are up around $1,400-1,500. So can you just kind of mention or explain that for a sec?
Yeah, so again, you don't have to buy a Vera license. It will work. It's a slower speed. I don't know exactly how fast it is or anything. And then you could buy the license for Vera, and that will work for Vera HF and FM. So you only have to buy it once. And then if you change computers or something, you just contact the guy at Vera, and he will either send you a new code or tell you what your code is, and you can just plug it into the new computer. But if you do get the license, it does run faster.
Does faster mean when you are sending the message or receiving the message across the air, the throughput's gonna be faster to get the message out and back?
Yeah, and if you went out to that website, it probably will tell you what the speeds are if you don't have a license, and if you do have a license. I don't know what that is off, but there is a difference.
We have a question. Hold on a sec.
Hey, Ed, on the registered version or the unregistered version, are you seeing other node points or whatever on
the Vera side?
On the Vera side, the Vera HF, are you seeing different sites that you can connect to with the registered versus the unregistered?
No, it's all the same. You can connect to either, whatever station is listed out there. Let me see if I can pull that up here again real quick. So with the HF, open up a session. and the channel selection here. Those will be there whether you have a free license or a paid license. So they will be there, and it tells you how many miles away it is. You might know on your radio, yeah, you're usually pretty good at less than 400 miles, or pretty good at making it all the way across the country. You probably will know that. So yeah.
Okay, while you have that up, Ed, I just want to, it might be hard to see for people in the back, although we're recording. Can you show the column of the frequency? I mean, I'm sitting right under this. And so the first two happen to be
So
on 80 meters. Then there's a couple on 40 meters.
40,
and there's a 20,
and then
there's a 15.
20 meters.
So these are the different gateways on HF. And what he was showing earlier is the green and the numbers at the top. It's like what does they say, path reliability. So the higher the reliability, the better the path. At the bottom of the screen right there, it's still green. It says 85, so it's lower. And if you scroll down, when it gets to the yellow, that means, kind of like a stoplight, green, yellow, red. It's not so hot. So ideally, you want to be on a higher path to get in. Anything else about that?
Yeah. So yeah, the higher the path, the better your chances of getting in. Of course, if you're on HF and you're going 9 miles, you probably want to bring your RF power down to maybe 20, 30%, 10%, maybe even. If it's more than that, you might be just bouncing right over top of 9 miles, but coming back down 200 miles or 400 miles or something.
Yeah. So that's the part of basic HF propagation that when we learn as a general and we use, whether it's phone or CW or any digital, it's the same concept. Okay, one other big question before we wrap it up, and that is, I'd like you to talk a little bit about some of the applications of why use it, or not how to use it, but why use it, and a little bit of how you're using it in Aries, if you would.
So with the way I use it in Aries, so we do it's like exercises or going out into the back country, like for the Tahoe Rim Trail, where people are running 100 miles plus up in the mountains, and we have some aid stations located throughout the track, and they want to know which runners have come through your station. So we would record those the runner numbers, and then every 15 or 20 minutes or half hour, we would send those numbers, those people tag numbers, to the EOC, and they would record it there. And then the track people, they can say, well, we haven't heard from runner 333. Has it made it through station 1 yet? Has it made it through station 2 yet? So that's how we would send that as a WINLINK package or a WINLINK message to the EOC. And that would be done. And some locations are, they provide a little internet there. Some locations, they have their own satellite Starlink, so they can send it over to the internet. And then others, it's just HF, and you send that out to wherever you can send it to, 100 miles, 300 miles, 700 miles away. And when they, at the EOC, check their email or their WINLINK, it will be there, and they just download it. For personal use, like say if you wanted to go to Yellowstone, you'd set up your HF radio. FM probably won't make any connections there, but you just send out a message to your family, say, yeah, I made it to Yellowstone, had a good day, whatever, and your family gets it, and they can reply back to you, and you can check the next day or every hour or however often you want to get onto the HF radio. There is maritime use. So people that are sailing out in the middle of the ocean, they can get their HF radio and send a message to their family member saying, yeah, I'm 800 miles off the coast, or I need help at 800 miles off the coast. there is also the ecom train or the ecom. So when you actually have flooding some places, you know, maybe the EOC will open up and say, everybody check in and let us know what your flood levels are. So there you go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ed. I helped out at a couple years ago at the Tahoe Rim Trail, and it was an interesting thing because some of the guys would say, okay, here on the voice network, they say, here's runner 152, 162, and of course, if the voice is 16, 15. So with data, assuming you type it right, it goes across. So it's just another method of doing that. I'm gonna mention one more thing. Oh, here's a wild. Okay, so basically this is email. Okay, and you can send email to another WinLink user or a non-WinLink user. Your wife, your friend, your de-expedition partner, whoever. Tell you one quick final application, and that is for those that do parks on the Arpota. Often you'll be at a park, and if you have the internet, you go on the spotting network and you say, I'm at this park on this frequency at this time. Work me. Kind of like the fish are biting. Okay, but what if you're at a park and there's no internet? So there is an email address for POTA with a certain format that you send an email to this server, an email with whatever the information is. It goes through the email and it posts it. So if you can do an email and you can do it through WinLink, so just another way of getting there. So I think that's it. Anything you want to say? Oh, we have some questions. Which one is it?
Just the
Okay.
last one.
For packet, how do you know where the WinLink servers are? That's a good question, Ed. That was from Richard KK7SL.
Okay, so with packet, again, you would do the search on it, whether you're so with packets, again, so click packet, open the session up, and then you would pick your station you want. So most likely you will probably be doing packet over FM. So again, you're probably good for, well, depending on if you have an outside antenna, you might be good for 20 miles, 30 miles maybe. You know, if you're within 10 miles of something, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit it. So St. Mary's, the W7SMY, they're supposed to be able to do Vera FM, and I have never ever been able to hit Vera FM there. I can always hit packet there, so I know I can reach them with my radio. Even when I'm at UNR at work, I can't connect to Vera FM to St. Mary's, and I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know what the issue is, but I can connect to John KL7RI, and he's South Reno, which is, you know, a good 10 miles away, and I can connect to him just fine over Vera FM. So St. Mary's from UNR is 2 miles away. So I'm not sure why.
That might be a question for Don. I think that system does Vera and packet on the same frequency, so there might be a little piece there.
Well, there is.
Okay, so Bob Clifford wrote from Fallon to the new Virginia Peak Vera FM. So I don't think it's online yet. I think it's coming up. And the question was, will a good HT make it? And 30 miles. So I think the answer to that is it's just good. It doesn't have a lot to do with the it's the path. You know, how far is the path? How much power are you running? Where is the antenna? And just to go back to the beginning of the presentation, then we're going to wrap it up shortly. Ed has an Anytone HT. He'll tell us how much power you're running. You're running it inside the shack on a battery. So, and you're up in Sun Valley. You want to just tell us about that?
Yeah, so I am up in Sun Valley. I work at UNR, so most of the day I have my radio on and working away on stuff. but this is the setup I use. Right there. You know, I'll put this radio on a shelf above my desk, and the cords are long enough to reach to the single link, and the single link cord is long enough to reach to my laptop. And I can hit John, you know, all the way to South Reno inside my building. So with the Vera FM, and I think John can do Packet FM too. And then Packet is run on usually to hit St. Mary's, it's 145.09, and then for Vera it's 145.610.
How much power are you running on the radio, and is that an extendable whip or the standard when it comes with the Energon?
I have about a 15-inch antenna that I use, and I use the full turbo 7 watts.
Okay, so that's inside. So this is really not a lot different than you have an HT and you want to hit a repeater, except this is simplex. Think of it as you have an HT and you want to talk to your friend on simplex. If you can't quite do it, you got to go outside. You got to have a little more antenna. You got to have a little more power. Same concept. The only difference is we're sending data, which is really audio that's encoded across and coming back. Okay, we're 15 minutes after we got a late start. Thank you so much, Ed. Is your KJ7DHY at SNARS.org good for an email?
Yes.
Okay, anything you want to say in closing? Thank you for your help.
And then, so Fallon should be able to hit Virginia Peak Vera system with no problems, because if they can hit it with the, just talking on the repeater, they'll be able to hit that.
Okay, I just want to say, don't know yet, this is very early, but it's possible, depending on some technical and other things, that we might be putting we SNARS might, maybe not, be putting up a Vera FM box up on one of the high peaks. Okay, I'm going to send back to you for a final, and then we're going to close it out. Thank you, Ed. Back to you.
Okay, so I don't have anything further. This will probably, I think it's being recorded, so if anybody missed anything on it, I see a couple chats that had to restart or whatever. It should be recorded and put out on the SNARS page.
Okay, Ed, thank you. That's Ed Bogue, KJ7DHY with SNARS and Aries. And if you want to get hold of them, it's KJ7DHY at SNARS.org. Ed is the assistant, what's it called? AEC, System Emergency Coordinator for Washoe Aries for WINLINK. So let's give him a round of applause, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ed. Okay, this completes the presentation with the WINLINK presentation for the SNARS March 1st, 2025 meeting, and we'll stop the recording.